You know, we can do a lot to impact how many quality years of life that we have in our future. And some of our longevity is controlled by genetics, but a lot of it we can actually influence with our choices. And right now we are joined by Scott Itano, who is a family medicine doctor at Kaiser Permanente Northgate Medical Center. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. So let's get into this. How much of aging would you say is controlled by genetics versus our lifestyle factors?
Sure. Whenever we think about health, there's always a nature and a nurture component. Nature being our genetics and DNA, nurture being our environment and how we live our life. What we know from research is that about 20 to 30% of longevity is related to our genetics. So really, most of our longevity is within our control.
Okay. All right. So I guess we need to make some good choices here.
You bet.
And what are some of the top things you would say that people can do to really increase their longevity?
That's a great question. It's not rocket science. It's doing all the healthy behaviors that are good for us anyways. So first and foremost, exercise. So when we talk about exercise, you can start with a base of 8,000 steps a day. What the CDC recommends is at least 150 minutes of cardio or aerobic exercise a week. I always add on for my patients, add on a couple days a week of strength training for muscle or bone health, and some stretching or yoga for injury prevention.
Okay.
Then we start talking about diet. So diet, you may hear about Mediterranean or low-salt diets. Those are good if you need a framework. What's key is that you really just have fresh foods, well-rounded diet, avoid packaging or processed foods. Then we get to alcohol. So alcohol, moderation is king. You really want to think about 1 serving a day for women, 2 servings a day for men is what the CDC recommends is healthy. Although there is some new evidence showing that any exposure to alcohol is related to adverse health events. So really moderation is key. So those are kind of the big key takeaways on top of social connectedness. Relationships is how we reduce stress, maintain our mental health. Just like when we're thirsty, we should drink water. When you're feeling lonely, you should reach out and socialize.
Yeah, that's a really good tip. I've heard, being lonely compared to smoking cigarettes before. And
Absolutely.
So, yeah, just get involved, get connected however you can. I will say, getting a fitness tracker earlier this year, I was like, you guys have probably heard me talk about this before, all of our viewers are watching. I never paid attention to my steps before. Now I'm like, I gotta hit that 10,000 steps every day. It makes you like a little excited about it.
Getting feedback is key.
Yeah, okay, we gotta talk about sleep for a minute. Sometimes sleep can be a little bit of a struggle for a lot of us. So how important is it to prioritize a good night's rest?
Well, we all know this. Sleep is critical. And so when we're thinking about sleep, it's restorative. It maintains our body. It's how we boost our immune system and just gives our brain a break. So when you're thinking about sleep, at least 7 hours a day and really shooting for good quality sleep as well.
Okay. What else should people keep in mind as they start aging?
You bet. When we're thinking about healthy aging, stay engaged with your health. Having a regular primary care doctor is really critical. What we're going to do is keep you up to date on cancer screenings and immunizations. So as you're getting into your 40s, definitely want to talk about cancer screening so we can catch any cancer early and potentially cure it.
That sounds great. I will say, like, as a Kaiser member myself, you guys are so great at following up too. Like, even just if you go and do the basics, do like the blood screenings, like I feel like my doctor will hit me up and tell me and help interpret all those results too, because like information is power, right?
You bet. We're going to be on top of it and keep you healthy.
Okay, what do you think of those tests that, I don't know if y'all have heard of them, that they're supposed to be evaluating your biological age. They can do it through like saliva or blood or other things. I think there's some that you can even do at home. Are those real? What's the scoop?
Well, that's a fun question, and everyone's curious about them. And what we know is that there's no research or consistent evidence that they can give you your biologic age. What I do appreciate about them is it just gives you time to reflect and think about your healthy behaviors. What am I doing about diet, exercise, or staying true to yourself that keeps you healthy? And if that piques your interest, I really encourage a conversation with your regular doctor and then continue it there.
I love it. Thank you so much, Scott. Great combo today.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Of course. We'll see you next time.